This is epic. What's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, Marvel Rivals continues to impress. We get to find out about confirmation for platform releases beyond the PC. We get 2 brand new characters. We have a closed beta and much more details to discuss in today's video. Of course, if you guys do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to leave a like here on YouTube. Thank you so very much for your continued support. And as I always say, let's dive on in. So here I was watching the PlayStation State of Play, like most of you guys probably were, and Marvel Rivals drops an absolute banger of a trailer. I mean, this thing just looks so cool, so much cool information to discuss. And let's begin with the thing that's most exciting, the elephant in the room. Well, I guess I should be saying the symbiote monster in the room, Venom. Yes, Venom will be a playable character in Marvel Rivals, and good googly moogly does he look pretty freaking exciting. He's actually our 3rd spider persona that we get in the game, and in fact, it looks like the 3 of them are going to have a ridiculous looking symbiote surge type power-up, which looks absolutely bonkers. I mean, you can see Venom boosting right here Penny Parker and Spider-Man into some crazy splayed out sort of like area of effect attack, which looks absolutely insanely OP. In addition to that, the Venom ultimate itself, I can't be the only one that kind of thought of this, was the fact that it looks very similar to the Garden Warfare franchise's Chomper. If you ever played Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 or Battle for Neighborville, you remember the Chompers had that kind of burrow on the ground ability where they would just burrow on the ground and then pop up from below, chomping away at your foes. Well, Venom's ultimate is pretty much a very similar thing where you get to burrow underground as a big giant symbiote monster and then pop up like a shark. I also really like the design for Venom. I think they really nailed kind of their own aesthetic that they've been doing such a good job with so far. But in addition to that, obviously still paying a bit of an homage to the monstrous Venom, as well as a little bit of the ultimate Venom vibe as well, just in terms of him being a little bit shorter than what we sometimes expect Venom to be. I also do kind of dread the moment of realizing that I'm going to be facing off against a team where you will have both a Spider-Man and Venom on the team, because they both have web swinging. And if you've seen how fast Spider-Man moves, although Venom does seem to move a little bit slower with his web swinging, but still, Spider-Man is an absolute nuisance to deal with when he can swing right past your entire tank line and attack from behind. If Venom is going to be assisting that, that is going to be an absolute nightmare. Now, since we're on the topic of spider personas, you might have noticed that Spider-Man himself had this really kind of odd looking symbiote armpit effect going on, which I think really works off of the team up move that we see going off during this particular trailer. But another really interesting thing about Spider-Man as a whole is that it seems like between the closed alpha and the closed beta that we'll be releasing for this game, there is an update or an overhaul to Spider-Man's suit. Here we have a tweet courtesy of Aaron, aka Caboose, who did go on ahead and managed to get images showing that Spider-Man has got one heck of a rework. Because if you look at Spider-Man previously, this is his kind of like older design on the left-hand side with a much more kind of thin spider logo and just not as much pronounced lines on the suit itself. And then if you jump over to the more updated look and the more recent version of the suit, you can see that there's a pretty substantial overhaul to the suit itself. I'm very curious to see if we will actually get any sort of rework to the back of the costume, because I feel like most of the criticism for this particular suit for Spider-Man is actually the way that it looks from behind, just because it does look very unique and very different than what I think most people expect for Spider-Man to look like. Next, let's talk about Adam Warlock. He was the other character that was confirmed as part of this brand new trailer. And unfortunately, he kind of got jobbed out. Like, he didn't really get to do a whole lot during this trailer. We barely get any sort of footage for him. He does seem like he's going to be a strategic or a support character within the game. He seems to be able to offer some sort of like a bubble shield type effect in this one sequence of gameplay where we see him going off. I don't really feel like we actually get to see his ultimate go off at any point in time during the trailer itself, which is very interesting, just in the sense that I guess front and center was Venom. I almost wish, though, that Adam Warlock was kind of like saved for a separate trailer, then that way he could actually get to shine a little bit, because Honestly, he barely gets to do anything during this particular trailer. I also do love the fact, though, that we are now 5 out of 6 Guardians members available in the game, which means that hopefully if we get one more like Drax, for example, we could actually do a full-on Guardians team. And it would be really cool if there was an actual team up move for the entire 6 characters. I think that would be so cool to see. That would be the first time that we get to see something like that in Marvel Rivals, because up until this point, the greatest team up we have seen is 3 characters. So it would be really incredible if we could go on ahead and put Groot, Rocket, Star-Lord, Mantis, Adam Warlock, and one other character like Drax or Gamora. I feel like Drax would probably make a little bit more sense because he could be a tank to go along with the typical, 2 support, 2 tank, 2 DPS build. I think that would be wonderful if they could go in that direction, but I guess time will tell. Oh, but the 2 new characters wasn't all, because if you've been paying attention to the gameplay that has been playing throughout this video, you probably might have noticed this whole trailer took place on a brand new map, which is Tokyo 2099. So once again, the original closed alpha for this game dropped with 3 maps. It looks like the beta will support those 3 maps plus this brand new map, Tokyo 2099. It looks very, very cool. One of my favorite aspects about this map is actually something that takes place at the very end of the trailer, where we see Storm activate her ultimate ability, and then you see the typical building collapsing mechanics that we've seen in the other maps. However, interestingly enough, peep the roof here, because the roof actually gets held up by these spider bot like creatures instead of just collapsing on down, which I think is a really interesting development to see here, because I have seen some people complain about the fact that, hey, oftentimes when you're playing Marvel Rivals, the collapsible environments become a huge nuisance. They become genuinely very difficult to get around, and so it seems like maybe they've listened to that already by implementing something where essentially you still have the destructibility of the lower portion of the building. However, the roof is staying up high, so it doesn't become a huge nuisance for you to try to get around or try to scale, and instead it is still a nice vantage point for your aerial characters or the characters that have more mobility to be able to utilize. Of course, beyond that, I think one of the other biggest announcements from this particular trailer is the fact that, yes, indeed, this game will be releasing not just on the PC platform, but instead you'll be able to play it on the PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series X and S. So yes, even though the phrasing for this particular trailer was kind of odd with the whole like, oh, exclusively on PlayStation 5, this has been confirmed to be releasing on Xbox as well, and so will the upcoming closed beta. Of course, this particular trailer essentially confirmed that sometime in July, we don't have a specific date yet, but there will be a closed beta that will be releasing for this game, and that closed beta will be available on PC, on Xbox Series X and S, as well as the PlayStation 5. But fear not, if you love exclusive things, there is something for you to look forward to as well on the PlayStation side of things with an exclusive Scarlet Spider skin. Now, as of the time of the recording this video, I honestly have not been able to get an official reply from the Marvel Rivals folks on how exactly this is going to work. So obviously this next portion of the video is a little bit speculative in nature, but essentially the way that they phrase this announcement is saying that this is going to be releasing exclusively with the launch of the game, which is interesting because obviously a lot of us assumed that maybe the Scarlet Spider skin would be exclusive to the upcoming closed beta. So it seems like right now we don't really have a clarification on that. Like, is this Scarlet Spider skin going to be similar to how the Scarlet Witch skin was exclusive on PC with the closed alpha, where if you leveled up to, I think it was level 30 on the battle pass, you would then go on ahead and earn the Scarlet Witch skin that you could use when the full game releases. Now, a lot of us thought, oh, okay, so they're doing a similar thing with Scarlet Spider, where essentially if you play the closed beta on PlayStation, you'll be able to earn Scarlet Spider. Well, it seems like as of right now, I don't really know if that's exactly what is going to be happening. It could be that. It could also be simply that when the game fully releases, whenever that ends up happening, then you'll be able to unlock the Scarlet Spider exclusively over on the PlayStation side of things. Now, keep in mind, obviously, also, oftentimes with these sort of like platform exclusive skins, if you have a friend or if you have a PlayStation, you could probably link your accounts and just log on to a PlayStation earn the Scarlet Spider, and then still carry that skin on over to other platforms if that's where you prefer to play. One other really important detail that I definitely want to mention about this upcoming closed beta in July is who the heck is going to get to play? How the heck are we going to get to play? Well, that second part, we don't really know yet. So they might be just basically taking signups from different platforms or over on their website, similarly to how they did for the closed alpha. But one interesting thing that they have confirmed from their official Discord, and I have re-clarified with Marvel Rivals themselves by messaging them, and yes, indeed, they have said that if you reach level 10 during the closed alpha, then you will indeed be able to have access to the closed beta automatically, which is super duper exciting for folks like myself because it means that you're already basically in for the closed beta. I don't know how it will work in terms of like, will you be closed beta, but you will only have access to the PC version? Most likely that will be the case, but it would obviously be really cool if somehow they could actually send you a code to like a PlayStation beta or the Xbox beta as well if you wanted to play on console for this one instead of PC. But I guess we're going to have those kinds of details unfold as we get closer to July and we probably hear some more information about their plans for Marvel Rivals. And I do also want to mention that obviously NetEase Games has been confirmed to appear at Summer Games Fest on June 7th, which means that there's probably a pretty freaking good chance that we might be hearing some more information about this closed beta, maybe even some Adam Warlock footage just a week from today. Oh, and how could I possibly almost forget? The actual ending of the trailer ends with this really cool shot of what seems like either Black Panther or maybe Killmonger stepping onto an astral plane. Now, having reviewed or re-reviewed the footage, it definitely seems like this is Black Panther's boot here. And how cool is it that it seems like it is possibly teasing yet another map for us to compete on, this time, this one being the astral plane. So there you go, guys. Even though it was just 1 minute and 15 seconds, we got a ton of exciting announcements and reveals with this one short teaser trailer. We got 2 brand new characters. We got 2 possibly brand new maps, one that is obviously already official. In addition to that, of course, all of the confirmations around the console side of things for this particular game, as well as discussions about the upcoming closed beta. I also love the fact that we're going from a closed alpha in May to a closed beta in July, because it really has me hopeful that maybe, just maybe, somehow, some way, this game actually does end up releasing by the end of this very year. Of course, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please don't forget, like I always say, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so very much for your support. Subscribe to stay tuned for all of the latest and greatest news for Marvel Rivals. And, of course, like I always also say, have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you later, alligators.